Greetings, dear viewers, greetings from my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Jonathan Scott of HGTV claims that this common lighting option is a swear word in his house. Jonathan Scott, part of HGTV's Property Brothers, is the best person to tell you that lighting can make or ruin a space. When Scott and his wife, Zooey Deschanel, were redesigning their apartment in New York City, they were certain that they would not be incorporating a popular element into their space. During the couple's Architectural Digest house tour, Deschanel said, "If you look up, you'll notice that there are no recessed lights in this place. In our household, that is a profanity," Scott continued. As someone who dislikes the big light, I was eager to hear it. Why Jonathan and Zooey don't use recessed lighting. Anyone following Zooey Deschanel's career is aware that her style has always been unique. Because of her carefully chosen aesthetic, simple and uninteresting lighting was never going to work. Deschanel told AD, "We were able to just put beautiful lights everywhere. Or we have a lamp, sconce, pendant, or chandelier. The lighting is fun, moody, and magical." However, Scott believes that Deschanel's passion for lighting might be inherited. He jokingly said, "This is the result of being engaged to someone whose father is a world-renowned cinematographer. The lighting is crucial." Becomes evident how important excellent lighting is to the couple as they show viewers around their house. Viewers can see matching red ceramic lamps on both side tables in the living room, just off the kitchen, where two sconces flank the sofa. Deschanel and Scott chose flush-mounted decorative lighting above the kitchen island and the couch to flood the room with light, so even without recessed lighting, the space feels light and comfortable. With those overheads off, the room is as functional as it can be. If you want to add some flair and coziness to your area, follow Deschanel and Scott's lead and make recessed lighting a dirty word in your house as well. Eliminating canned lighting can be the key to restoring the atmosphere in your house. Define design. With design defined, you'll never miss the style advice and inspiration you need. Join us every week as our home director Danielle reveals the newest trends, greatest style tips, and must-have decor items. Enter the gorgeous Manhattan apartment of Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel. Architectural Digest recently had the opportunity to tour the beautifully remodeled Manhattan home of celebrity couple Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel. As you might anticipate from an HGTV star and an actor/musician renowned for her unique vintage taste, it's as stunning and quirky as it is. Project was anything but a dream home when the couple first saw it in 2020. They spotted the potential in the long, vacant two-story duplex in Manhattan's Flatiron district, despite its bad layout, lack of light, and promise of plenty of work. They collaborated with renowned New York designer Young Ha to make it a reality. The intimate, multi-layered, whimsical space had been entirely changed into a wordless narrative of the couple's style by the time they opened their doors to AD. Check it out below. The elevator doors open and suddenly there are flowers everywhere. Like it's trying out for a leading role, the Hollyhocks wallpaper from House of Hackney scales the walls. "A first impression is the most important thing," Scott said to AD. New walls, old souls. The space appeared to be a repurposed office before they touched it, with frigid walls, low ceilings, and no life. Jonathan remembered telling the magazine, "Very raw." He installed elaborate plaster moldings from Hyde Park Moldings, each piece placed by hand, going old school literally with designer Young Ha. Playing patterns. Zooey's playground is the living room. Under a classic Murano chandelier, a sectional made of chintz and velvet curves, its fringe billowing when the windows open. Ha told AD, "We wanted a modern shape with an old-world soul." Zooey continued questioning whether they had gone too far as the fabric hunt turned into a full-fledged epic. Young advised me to have faith in her. She was also correct. "I chose the most expensive fabric in the entire shop by mistake." The old me, Zooey remembered. Supper and a brightening up. Imagine purple velvet George III chairs, candlelight, and a chandelier that won't go out of style. Jonathan changed the angles while Zooey added more drama. Together, they came up with a sequence that resembles a period movie dinner scene, but with leftover creme brulee and singing at the conclusion. Chemistry in the kitchen. This comes naturally to Jonathan. He painted the cabinetry Benjamin Moore's cable knit sweater, draped the counters in Seppo beige marble, and constructed the range hood from the ground up. AD was informed by Zooey that he's amazing with space. He sees a room before it's there. Tears from a storybook. Elegant yet functional, a 19th century French silk tapestry depicting two lovers is hung on the stairwell. It is lined with linen and has Velcro attached. Prussian blue. Their main bathroom is serene, calm, silent, and unreservedly intricate. Framed in white marble and set like patterned wallpaper, Huss bespoke whimsy tile in deep blue shines like glass candy. She told the magazine, "We wanted it to feel sacred. The mission has been completed." Here, even the light acts differently. It is kinder, slower, and softer. Diplomacy in bunk beds. Children's chamber is a combination of a Broadway set and a treehouse. Bunks with queen beds underneath, full beds above, and hidden drawers at each stage were constructed by legacy millwork. Detailed with hand-cut leaves, each one unique and painted in mystic green, no lasers permitted. Their own terrace. The whimsy intensifies as you step outside. Terrace is transformed into a miniature paradise with the addition of ivy, topiary, and a life-size fiberglass elephant by Baccio. It adds a sense of humor, Manscapers NY's Mel Brazier told AD. Usually, Jonathan is adjusting the irrigation timings while Zooey is out here caring over flowers, a scene that combines passion and functionality. Behind-the-scenes beauty. The wiring hums 21st century savvy, yet the appeal screams vintage. Scott installed Control 4 lighting, span panels, and PHYN leak detection. He owns stock in the latter. He told the magazine, "I want the alert if a pipe bursts or the air conditioner is left on." Here, even the technology contributes to the romance. Fans get a look inside. Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel's NYC apartment. The visual beauty of Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel's abode in New York City is not surprising. On Wednesday, October 8th, the couple released a video tour of their Big Apple home with Architectural Digest, giving admirers a peek inside. Regarding the bright foyer with its floral-patterned wallpaper that Deschanel fell in love with, Scott stated, "We wanted to really welcome our guests with something interesting and exciting because there is nothing more important than a first impression." The two erected a wide archway draped with green crown molding and raised the ceilings a few feet in the doorway. A gorgeous, floor-to-ceiling painting and additional handcrafted crown molding can be found in the apartment's main corridor. "When we initially looked at this place, it looked nothing like what it does now. It had high ceilings and great ceilings, but that's about it," Deschanel said, adding that when they initially viewed the flat, she found it gross. It needed a lot of attention because it had been empty for a very long time. However, Scott clarified, "A little vision goes a long way." The open kitchen and living area, which have blue cabinets, stone worktops, a flowery corner couch, and a grand piano, are further examples of Deschanel's passion of maximalist design. Jonathan's ability to make the most of space is amazing. He can tell where the issue will be by looking at a floor pan. "This kitchen and living room flow is so amazing," Deschanel said. "This is the side effect of being engaged to someone whose father, Caleb Deschanel, is a world-class cinematographer," Scott quipped, referring to the significance of lighting in the room. Because Zooey dislikes seeing a TV in a living room, the kitchen/living room also has a quirky feature, a drop-down projection screen from the ceiling. The formal dining room, which is furnished with dark hardwood furnishings, is connected to the living room by the piano. The apartment's bottom floor has a number of comfortable areas, such as a family room with a toasty fireplace at its center, while the upper level also has 3 private terraces, a 17th century French tapestry, and bespoke sconces. "It was begging for some kind of focal point, and there was no fireplace," Scott said. "After we installed the fireplace, it looked great with the shelves on either side. We wanted it to appear to blend in with some of the room's other architectural features." The bedrooms of Scott and Zooey, as well as those of Zooey's children, Elsie, 10, and Charlie, 8, whom she shares with her ex-husband Jacob Pechenik, are also on the lower floor. Zooey raved about the room, which has twin bunk beds and plenty of concealed storage, saying, "The kids screamed when they first saw it." They were ecstatic. It's also pleasant since, while sharing a room, kids feel as though they have their own place. They have their own tiny bookshelves, are apart, and are not required to look at one another when they are angry. I hope they know how lucky they are to have a contractor in the family, Scott said. A year after they first met while recording an episode of Carpool Karaoke, Scott and Zooey bought their NYC apartment in 2020. Couple, who became engaged in 2023, also lives together in a large Los Angeles house. Less than 4 months after their initial meeting, Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel were house hunting. After meeting in 2019, the pair bought homes in New York and Los Angeles the following year. From the start, Jonathan Scott and Zooey Deschanel were committed to the long term. The 45-year-old New Girl star and 47-year-old HGTV personality told Architectural Digest during a recent tour of their downtown Manhattan house that they had first saw the property in late 2019, just a few months after they first met while filming an episode of Carpool Karaoke. Scott described their now maximalist duplex, which features French and English aesthetics, as completely raw and stripped down like an abandoned office building from the 1980s. In agreement, Deschanel said, "It was definitely sketch." However, the pair cited the building's high ceilings, spacious area, 3 terraces, and ideal position in the center of New York City as reasons for its appeal and promise. The majority of apartments in New York don't truly offer a space like this. "We adore having 3 separate terraces." In reference to the couple's century-old Los Angeles home, Scott remarked, "It just feels like we can get that little slice of what we have in LA." Couple bought their home in Los Angeles in 2020 and became engaged in August 2023. They reside there with Deschanel's 2 children, Charlie, age 8, and Elsie, age 10. The 2-story flat was purchased as a supplementary home by the couple when they relocated to New York the same year. To realize their ideal space, the couple collaborated with Young Ha, an interior designer based in New York. The house is now decorated with elaborate and vibrant wallpaper, custom millwork in the kitchen, a drop-down projection screen, a vintage glass chandelier, and even a French tapestry from the 17th century. Scott's favorite room in the whole house is even designated for Deschanel's children. "The children kind of screamed when they first saw it," Deschanel's added. They were ecstatic. While in New York, the children share a room, but the additional handcrafted woodwork creates a space between the beds. Regarding the children, Scott says, "I hope they understand how fortunate they are to have a contractor in the family." The Elf actress and her ex-husband Jacob Pechenik have 2 children together. In July 2015, the couple welcomed a daughter, Elise, and in May 2017, a son, Charlie. Despite their 2019 breakup, the pair continues to have a positive co-parenting relationship. As their bonus dad, Scott has been actively involved in the children's life since the divorce, even though it hasn't always been simple. In an exclusive June 2023 interview with People, he said, "One thing that was a struggle early on was that the kids didn't necessarily run up and jump in my arms and give me a big hug. They would answer, 'That's not my daddy, he's my Jonathan,' in response to someone saying, 'Oh, your daddy's so hilarious,' on multiple occasions while they were out with other kids. That would be somewhat painful. In their opinion, saying that's how they know me is not a mean thing," he continued.